All right, so we're back. I had a smartboard malfunction, had to restart it. So now we're still doing solving two-step equations and beyond. And so on this problem, we got to get x alone. And here, this division bar acts as a grouping symbol. So that's like a parenthesis. So in this situation, when I go to check it, that means I'm going to, whatever x is, I'm just going to put a parenthesis there and we'll stick it in a minute. I'm going to subtract 5 first, then I'm going to divide by 8. And I want to see if I get negative 15. Well, in that case, when I go backwards and undo this, then I have to do this, get rid of this first, or make it a 1. So the multiplicative inverse of that's really 1 over 8 is going to be 8. So if I multiply both sides by 8, get 8 over 1. The 8's divide out and get 1. 1 times x minus 5 is x minus 5 alone. And then over here, 8 times 15, 80 and 40 be negative 120. So then I have to add 5 to both sides. And that's going to be like a negative 5 plus 5 is 0. So I have x plus 0 is x alone. And negative 120 plus 5 will be negative 115. So over here, I'm going to put in negative 115, and I'm going to add negative 5 to it, which would be negative 120. I'm going to divide negative 120 by 8, and when I divide, I get 8 goes into 12 once, and I have 4 left over, 40. 5 times 8 is 40, so that would be negative 15. So that does check because we have negative 15 on both sides. And again, remember, you can reverse this or rewind it, go back, slow it down, and always ask me tomorrow if you don't understand something. Okay, so the last one, we've got a bunch of m's on this side, and it's all equal to negative 15. So we need to, first of all, simplify this side, and we can simplify it a little bit by combining like terms. So I've got a negative 10 and an 8. M, negative 10m and negative 8m, which will be negative 2m's. And then I've got a 4 and a 3, which is 7. And that's equal to negative 15. So now it's a real easy two-step equation once I simplify it. So I'm going to subtract or add negative 7 and get 0. So I have negative 2m on the left. I have to add negative 7 on the right, and I get negative 22. Then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2, or multiply by negative 1/2, which is the reciprocal of negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1m, which is m alone. And negative 22 divided by negative 2 is positive 11. So if I check this, I got to go back to the original equation. So 4 plus, now I'm doing negative 10 times 11 plus 3 plus 8 times 11. Does that equal negative 15? So I'm going to multiply before I add. So negative 10 times 11 is negative 110 plus 4. And I also have 3 plus 88. So now I'm going to, I'll just combine these two. So that's going to be negative 96 plus, and I'll go ahead and combine those two for 91. Did I do something wrong? Oh, wait a minute, that's not 96. It's going to be 106. Hello. I knew I did something wrong because when these added up, it didn't add up to negative 15. But it is negative 106, and negative 106 and 91, if I take 91 negatives out here, these cancel them out, and when I subtract 91 from negative 106, I do get negative 15. So I got negative 15 on both sides, so it checks. All right, so that's the end of tape 2. Remember, I have 2 tapes now because my smartboard acted up on me, and we'll see you tomorrow.